Hello everybody and welcome to Calamity Kitchen. Today you and I are going to go back in time to the happiest days of our lives. That's right, our primary school and childhood years. No mortgage payments to worry about, no petrol price increases to worry about, and no labour market instability to concern our little souls with. No, just pure, simple bliss. Free time followed by free time, topped off with a little bit more free time. Perfect. Now I hear you say, how on earth do our primary school years tie in with cooking? 2 words, manual training. When I was a kid, manual training was part of the syllabus for Form 1 and 2 students. These days I think the same age group are called Year 8 and Year 9 or Year 7 and 8. And manual training was so called because we were taught manual skills such as woodwork, sewing, and of course cooking. Sometimes we made truly amazing things like teapot stands. And of course the ubiquitous wooden pencil case. As a kid I grew up in the country and went to a small country school. Now this school wasn't big enough to warrant having its own manual training classrooms, so every Wednesday, just before lunchtime, the Form 1 and 2 students were bussed into the nearest big town about 20 minutes away. At my primary school there were a number of attractive girls, and these girls hadn't escaped the attention of the boys at the big town school. Things came to a head one day as we made our way from the bus stop across the school campus to the manual training rooms. One of the town boys came right up to my face and said, "Do you want to rumble?" Now, at this stage in my life, I was a sweet, innocent, naive country kid, and I had no idea what the word rumble meant in that context. I thought that perhaps he wanted to share part of his lunch with me, so I asked him, politely, "What's a rumble?" And he goes, "What's a rumble? A rumble is a fight, you dick." Huh? Why on earth would you want to fight me? I said. And he goes, "I want to fight you for the girls at your school." Now, as I said, at this stage in my life, I was a sweet, innocent, naive country kid. I had no time for girls. I was far too busy riding motorbikes and making tree huts. So I told him, cool as a cucumber, "Take him." And then sprinted as fast as I could to the safety of the classrooms. Anyway, let's get on with some cooking. Today I'm going to be taking my recipe straight from the manual training exercise book, and we are going to be cooking quiche. Let's go. First of all, thoroughly grease a baking dish with butter or margarine. Now for those of you who did do manual training, remember how they used to always get us to make our own dough? Flour, water, butter. Makes a big mess, takes ages, sticks to your rolling pin. I don't know why they just didn't tell us about this when we were kids. So quick! On a medium heat, melt some butter in a saucepan. Okay, well I'll chop up the onion next. And here's a wee tip that I learnt in my manual training days, and I've never forgotten it to this day. The trick is to cut off the hairy chest first. Mrs. Dixon, my manual training teacher, always said, chop the hairy chest off, chuck it in the bin straight away, and you won't get teary eyes. Now, I remember that tip because in all the years since she's told me that, it's never worked at all once. Add the chopped onion to the saucepan. We can put a lid on just to keep the moisture in there. I so want to rub my eyes right now. And then we chop up the bacon. And next we add the mushrooms. Just chop them up. You can chop them up pretty big and they'll reduce down when you put them in with the bacon and the onion. And a bit of salt. Stir it in. Once the onion is clear, we can take the lid off and allow most of the fluids to boil off for the last few minutes. Then grate a cup to a cup and a half of tasty cheese. Okay, now for the egg and milk mixture. For this we'll use 2 eggs made up with milk up to 1 cup. It's a general rule actually, if you want to have 4 eggs, do 4 eggs in here, make up with milk up to 2 cups. We can lightly stir that with a fork and add some pepper for seasoning. Right, now it's time to put everything together. Add the onion, bacon and mushroom mix, cheese, and then season with thyme. Bake in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 30 to 35 minutes. Now I have a wee bit of a confession to make here. I didn't actually follow the recipe in my manual training exercise book quite as closely as I had made out that I was going to, simply because that the recipe in here is kind of bland, and I thought I would give it a bit of an octane boost just to make it a little bit more enjoyable for you guys. I hope you don't mind. See you next time.